Hey there, this is Instant Kafka. I'm going to go over think bubbles. Think bubbles are a way to optimize the performance of your world by selectively activating objects based on how close the player is. If the player is outside the think bubble, the object's brain will not run. If the player moves inside the think bubble, the object will run. And there's a really good write-up on think bubbles written by Invisible Doogie on projectspark.org forums or tutorials. And this is the URL for it right here. Go check that out. Good reading. I'm going to go into a little bit more of a deep dive into think bubbles, or spherical activation zones, as I like to call them. So let's start. Let's start with the empty world. Okay. Got our empty world with all that useful landmass. Now let's turn this guy around. Bring him back a little bit. Add a couple of logic cubes. Excuse me. I'm just getting over a cold, so if you hear a lot of throat clearing or coughing, I apologize. Okay. We have our logic cube. Now, to enable think bubbles, you have to enable it globally through the world by going into world settings and turning use think bubbles on. Okay. Now, once that's on, you can selectively turn it on or off per object by going into its properties, brain, and use think bubbles. If use think bubbles is off, this object will run all the time. If it's on, it will only run when the player is within the radius of the think bubble, and that I forgot to show that to you. The radius is set right down here. It's set to 50 units now. So most objects, when you bring them into the world with think bubbles enabled, will have the use think bubbles to on. But logic cubes are a little different. They default to off, so that they're always on, not just when the player is within the distance. So we go into the logic cube here. We have brain use think bubbles is on. That means I want this to only run when the player is within the 50 units of this logic cube. Let's call this one sometimes on. Alright, we'll just do a little test here. Display text. Hi, I'm awake. At the center of the screen. I like things extra large, and I like orange or purple. Do orange first. Oh, did you see that flash? Somewhere around here is my... Oh, there we go. Hi, I'm awake. Okay. A couple of things. Let's make this visible. And let's figure out a way to show the actual sphere of the think bubble. So we'll add another logic cube here. Line these up. Bring this one up a little bit. Okay, so they're in roughly the same area. On this one, go ahead and make this one visible. Call this one always on. And use think bubbles is off. So this one is always going to be running. And inside the brain, let's draw a sphere. What was it, 50? Number 50. And we'll make this purple. Because purple and orange go so well together. Alright. So theoretically, when the player enters this, not the character, but the player, the brain is active. Okay. That works pretty well. So, what do we know about think bubbles other than they start and stop code? Does it enable the brain and disable it when it's outside? Let's check that. On the always on one, let's display the sometimes on enabled value. Put this in the top left. Get rid of the health bar. Come on. Where's my guy? Oops. Brain glitch there for a second. So it's always on. Whether we're inside or outside the bubble. Huh. Alright. So it's always on. So what does it do? Does it just kind of temporarily pause, or does it restart all the code in the brain? Let's check that next. In the sometimes on one, let's add a once. New number variable, counter, set to 0. And down here, let's do counter, increment, by 1. Display counter top right. Make this one slightly larger. Sorry. Large font. Let's make this one blue. Rainbow of colors. We're not prejudiced. Okay. Oh, can't see that. Yellow. Okay, so it's counting up. Now it should go back to 0 if it's resetting, and it's not. 135 continues on from there. So it's just basically pausing the brain. Okay. What about timers? Let's check timers. Duration timer. Let's do 30 seconds, give ourselves plenty of time. Play around with it. 30 seconds. Display. Let's see the ratio of time remaining. Display that top right. Sorry. Top right. That's interesting how it starts at the beginning. 0.9. 0.9. Let's wait a few seconds here. Should be less than 0.9. Okay, it resets timers. It's good to know. Okay, it resets timers. The other thing that was kind of interesting is the flash that it does at the beginning. So it's actually, it looks like it's running the code at the beginning. Let's check that. We can check that by going to the always on button. We know it's always enabled, so we'll replace this with counter. See how many frames it runs before it disables itself. One frame. I don't know, can you see that on there? 1 frame. Okay. Restart it just to see. Okay. That's useful information. It runs 1 frame no matter what, whether you're in the trigger zone or not. Okay, so how can we use this information now? I kind of had an idea if I could determine when a brain was triggered because of think bubbles and when it, when it's triggered off and on, could use that for different effects or whatever. And one of the things I was thinking of was selectively enabling other objects around it, or maybe even further away outside the think bubble when this is running, when it's inside, when the think bubble has activated it, and disable things when it's not. So how can we do that? We know that timers get reset. So if we go in here, change this to a countdown timer, just run it for 1 frame. Then we can record the last time it was entered, the last time it was ran, basically. So let's do a value here, number, I don't know, last time entered, I guess. Real creative with my variable names. Last time entered equals age. So we'll keep track of it every time this is entered for the very first time. I wonder if I could just use once on it. No, you can't, because it doesn't reset it. Okay. If we do that, then in the always on one, let's see, how can we do this inside? We could do a Boolean. Actually, let's just check to see if that actually works. Let's get a difference of the time. Difference of this one's age to the sometimes on one. Because when it's not active, it's not going to be recording the last time it was, the last age it was at. So it should be greater than 1 frame, or like 1/30th of a second, right? So let's do time difference, another creatively named variable, equals my current age minus this one's last recorded age, last time entered. So let's check that. Display time difference. Let's put this at the bottom center. And color have haven't we used yet? I'll use my favorite color here. It's special. Good color. It's right around here. It's almost blue. Yeah. I like that. Okay. Whoa. Time difference. See, because that one's not recording the last time I entered. Boom! 0. Go back out. Now it's greater than 0. Boom! 0. Alright, so let's turn that into a Boolean value that we can use. Boolean. Boolean. Inside think bubble. I suppose we could do this on the player too, couldn't we? Oh, anyways. Alright, let's make sure we're doing the proper order of operations here. Is less than. Oops, we can do that. Less than. I don't know, 0. Let's give a little bit of leeway here, so we'll say like 0.05. No. 0.0333 is 1/30th of a second, so 0.05 should give us inside the think bubble. Inside think bubble. Alright, let's move that there so we can see it. See that beautiful purple. Okay. False. Let's go inside. True. Yay. False. True. False. True. Okay, so why do we do all that? Seems kind of pointless because we, the game already does that with the think bubbles. Well, like I said, we could now selectively enable or disable certain objects based on whether the player entered this object's think bubble. Kind of need 2 logic cubes for it, but there's no way around that because this doesn't run all the time. Okay, so just to give you kind of an example, I don't know, I'm contriving these things here because I'm not that creative, but let's put this guy here. 2 things we have to do. First thing is turn that off, which means he should be active all the time. Then disable his brain. Then here we shall ignore this line for now. No, let's leave it on. If inside the bubble, oh no, let's just set it's enabled. Objects in world picker. This guy. Confirm. Enabled equals inside equals inside think bubble. And just so we can see it a little easier to tell, just put display text kill humans. Arg. Above. Alright, so when he's enabled, he should say that. Probably just make him say it, but you get the point. Alright. Enabled equals inside think bubble. Now, if all goes well, it doesn't look like he's saying anything. Go inside. Kill humans, arr! Now, interesting thing is come on, where's my cursor? There we go. Let my cursor free. Let's put him outside. We'll put him out here. He should be outside the think bubble. He's outside. Okay. Kill humans. Arr. Awake. Wake up! Come get me. Come at me. Kill humans. Okay. So, let's see. What else is there? I think that's about it for Think Bubbles. Hope you enjoyed it. See you later.